Okay, now we're actually going to do the survey for the company IntelliSprings. So we're going to go to New, IntelliSprings, Non-GPS, Layout. I already have it located in the My Documents under Layout 1. Next, Restricted, and Finish. We need to calibrate, yes. I've already measured from this wall to this wall, and it's about 75 feet. Make sure you're under passive any start. Make sure the numbers are changing. And they are. Good. All right, ready to start. Okay, and I'm located in this office, starting, corner, every time you stop or change directions, you need to click, and if you say stopped for a long amount of time, you need to click before you start. Bathrooms, I'm not going to go in them. There is a door here, even though the map doesn't say. Break room. Office. I'm going to try to move as straight line as possible. If you need to go around things, it's fine, just click and keep going. Slow and steady. Someone stops and wants to talk to you, for instance, let's say I came up to this office and somebody can just stop me to talk, make sure you click, then you can spend as much time as you need to talking to them, telling them you're not looking for cell phones, you're not looking for bombs, you're not looking for anything that they may want to come up with. Once you're done talking to them, you don't forget to click before you start moving. So click and go. It's very important to get most of the external walls. I'm going to go back diagonally because I really don't need to get that other corner. You need to get the walls because that's where the signal is going to change dramatically between one side of the wall and the other side of the wall. Some offices you can actually just go diagonally if they're small enough, so you don't have to get both sides of the walls. Entry. And make sure that, as you probably noticed, I do have a little pause between the time I get there and the time that I click on the survey. That's because there's a lag between the data gathering and where the dot actually is. So I do spend about half a second there before I click. I kind of jumped the gun on that one. I'm going to go diagonally through the doorway all the way to this corner. And back around the wall. Okay, so if you look up, you should be able to see the access point right in the ceiling, right about there. That's the one we're actually surveying. So on my map, there's a big gap in the middle that I need to get, because if I were to stop right now, it wouldn't collect at that point. So because I stayed still, let me go ahead and click and walk. Straight lines. Okay, now I need to walk backwards from the perimeter. So I already came from that way, so I'm going to go diagonally this way so I can get back to where I was. Get about right here. And I'm going to go back around the main area. It doesn't have to be exactly. It just has to be close enough so you have a measurement going on the reverse direction. And now I can go back to the office. Straight lines. About center of the room. And that's it. Stop. Make sure you plug your laptop. You never know when you're going to run out of battery. Now we're going to filter out just the signal that we want. So filter, sort by SSID, and I want IntelliSprings. Since all four are coming from the same access point, I get to pick. I'm going to go with internal. Rename this to APs. That looks pretty good. Next, you want to put the access points on the map, both the 2.4 and the 5. If you do it at this point in time, I can get very specific, or very, I can make sure that they both look the same, which overall looks better. So one at a time, AP name and power on. Now if I go back to channel, you can see them both and they're almost right on top of each other. If they weren't, I could click and drag and move so they were closer. Okay, now I'm ready to filter again. 2.4 first, 2.4, back to access points, filter out the 5.0. At this point I'm going to save. The only thing left would be to run the report. Since there's no simulation or anything looks like, everything looks fine on that one. So, and at this point I will just run the report, go back, run the report for the other one, save. I'll save the reports to an external thumb drive, make sure I gather the data distance from one to the other, from the access point to the closet. So at this point you go to export, change it to Microsoft Editable, all pages, and Dallas Springs. This is 2.4. Back to display, 5.0, reports, passive. If this layout, this portrait layout button is unchecked, all you have to do is double click on the report. If it is checked, then you want to highlight and then click once to uncheck it and run the report. Export, all pages, 5. Back to display. The last thing I usually forget is to go to measuring and get the distance from the access point back to the closet. So this is about 34 feet or so, and another 30, 39, 30, 38 feet or so. Add those two together, save it. And one other last thing about the reporting in general is that you may want to gather the data from the closet, such as pictures of where the closet is, switch information, any other information that may be necessary for this array. But otherwise, that's it. File close, and that's all, folks.